Hey guys, get Instagram going up. Um, oh, I'm gonna get this shared out while Instagram is going. Hey Instagram, it's not supposed to be like this. Um, get this shared out. Give me a second. Hey Dawn, come on Facebook. All right. Sorry, I'm getting it shared out to a couple of places. Maybe that's it. All right. Instagram. Instagram so late. I just saw your comment, Dom. It just popped up literally. Okay. I'm just gonna see how it goes. All right, y'all, come on in. So, for those who are new to me, my name is Amber, and I am the owner of Sense Exchange, and I help women to relax, reset, feel, reflect, all that good stuff without feeling guilty, and we provide the products to help you do so. And what we have, let me see. Let me make sure I have everything I need. So with Candles and Conversation today, we're going to be talking about, well, first, let me welcome everyone. I just kind of like jumped into it. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Also, if you are watching on a replay, let me know, again, where you're tuning in from. And also just hit hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay as well. So today for Candles and Conversation, we're going to be talking about self-care then versus now. I know you're probably like, what does that mean? So of course, in honor of it's Women's History Month. So of course, in honor of Women's History Month, I'll be discussing different topics that pertains to women in history, essentially pertaining to self-care, and also kind of like things that we've overcome far as stress, burnt out, splitting the load, all that good stuff. But of course, I couldn't get into the month without, in the Candles of Conversations, without first explaining what self-care looked like back then, meaning in the history, and then what it looks like now. So I'm gonna go ahead and light my candle, y'all. And of course, let me tell y'all, I'm actually lighting Go Sit Down Somewhere because this is what I've been burning. So it has hints of lavender and sage. So this is what I'm burning today. And also, let me tell you about the Madam. So the Madam is from Sense Exchange, of course. It is our Women's History candle. It is here, y'all. It'll be here all month long, so make sure you secure yours. It's limited edition, so it will not be here after, of course, March. So that is the Madam. Well, no, it's not. I'll put it on it should be on Facebook. It should be in the comments as far as the link. But if not, you can go to senseexchange.com to grab yours from and it's right there on the homepage. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dive in. But before I actually get started, I'm actually going to talk about I'm going to talk about the history of self-care. So before I dive into self-care in the history and now, I'm going to talk about the history of self-care because of course self-care hasn't been a mainstream until now. So self-care, so the history of self-care, it actually started back in 1960s. So that's when the world started to realize that it was a cure for PTSD, burnout, overwhelmed employees, especially those that deal with trauma therapists, in that occupations, they realized it was help for that. And then in the 1970s is when around like the civil rights and the women movement, that's when they realized like activists, really kind of pertaining to like the Black Panther Party, they saw it as a political act actually to kind of gain value on women's health and also low income families, because they started putting different setup in around low income neighborhoods, with like dental health, not dental health and vision benefits and things to help the low income families. So they kind of saw it as a political act around the 1970s. And then it wasn't until the 1980s is where people actually started to realize that self-care was actually dated from back to the Greeks, where things were said like care for, no, take care of yourself, and also like attending to oneself. Like those comments were used back in the Greeks, and that's when they actually started to realize, okay, well, it was more to self-care, and it wasn't just where it was just started talked about in like the 1960s. So now that I explained a little bit about actually self-care and what self-care is, I'm going to actually jump into women's self-care. Of course, it's Women's History Month. So women's self-care. So of course we know like the history of women, and back then women wasn't really allowed to take care of themselves. Their main priority was their husbands and their families. So they had to do like cooking, cleaning, all that household duties. That's what they was essentially responsible for. Was that, and they wasn't really allowed to be tired, so and women was consistently, I mean, even today, like there are some women that consistently put other people's needs on their needs on the back burner for others, which essentially that makes them resent themselves. They get burnt out and they get overwhelmed. So also there are so many stereotypes, especially back then, of what like a good woman looks like, especially when it pertains to like taking care of others, their family, their household, all that stuff, far as the needs. And honestly, when the truth is, we do get tired. We are allowed to get tired. Household duties aren't just for us to do. Honestly, household duties, it's actually a general like lifestyle necessity. Meaning, men, y'all need to learn how to cook, clean, all that good stuff too. Just because, not saying that we can't do it, but it's just something. What if you lived on your own? You gotta know how to clean. You gotta know how to cook. You gotta know how to take care of your household, even as a husband and father. Like you have to know how to do those things, because a woman isn't gonna always be there. Like we have lives, we get tired, and it's okay. So essentially, all that has changed as well, where it's not just women looking, where women isn't just looked upon where they have to take care of their families and take care of their children, husbands, as well. So if you're just tuning in, I'm actually discussing I actually just discussed what self-care, the history of self-care, so what it looked like back then, and also kind of what it looked like for women back then as well. So now I'm going to kind of shift gears and actually talk about what self-care looks like today. So now self-care is more centered around a way to keep yourself grounded in this chaotic world that we live in. It also helps women to regain control of their mental, their physical, their emotional, and spiritual being, which is, of course, really great because we all need that, right? And also now you see women putting themselves first. You see, and they also are realizing that it doesn't take away from their family, but and they also are realizing too that in order to take care of their family, that they have to take care of themselves. So that also means that they have to be mentally, physically, emotionally okay in order to do so. So you see a lot of women taking mental days, they're seeing therapists, they are working out, they are talking about their feelings, they are realizing that saying no is okay. Y'all, it's okay. All that good stuff. So you see all this, like just this different aspect around self-care and women and what they are doing and and pertaining to do. um, which of course we all know like all that is great. And the thing is about that too, you have to stay consistent and making sure you are on a good routine. So if you're like seeing a therapist, making sure that you are seeing your therapist, bi-weekly or weekly, however much you need to see your therapist, making sure that stays in routine and you keeping that going. Also, if you're working out, making sure that you have a good workout routine. So if that's 2 to 3 days a week, make sure like, oh, I'm working out on these 2 or 3 days, so you have a good routine when it comes to taking care of yourself. The issue is, like I said, if you stop being consistent or you get out of that routine, that's when kind of things started to get out of whack, and you may start feeling overwhelmed, stressed. You may feel yourself putting others before yourself, and you're like, starting to going back to where I was talking about, going to that resent feeling, because your needs are not being met and you're being put on the back burner. So, if you are someone who struggles with consistency, um, or a self care routine, or if that essentially means you need a self care plan. So I can actually help you customize yours. It'd be to again, it's customized. It would be customized to you. So it'd be what you need. Essentially, I know everyone doesn't work out. I know everyone doesn't want to see or need to see a therapist, and that's fine. That's just me throwing like those out there. Um, so it would be customized to you and what you need. So I can definitely help you come up with that self-care plan. Just click the link in my bio and schedule a self-care consultation. I'll be happy to assist you with customizing that self-care plan for you. So that's really all I have for you guys today, as far as the history of self-care, and what it looked like back then and now. I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Also, if you have any questions, make sure to feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at amber at sensexchange.com, or you can shoot me a DM on either Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't matter. And also, I'll be back next week to discuss self-care versus selfishness. So make sure you set your alarms for next Thursday at 1 p.m. And I will see you guys next week. Bye now.